So, people, I'm not sure what's happening across the world, but clearly there's a movement forming right now. Since I've been doing these moving back to Jamaica videos, I've been seeing so many stories. So many stories. And I think it's an important thing to document all these stories because it just might help to make up the mind of an individual who's actually thinking, who's in the process of thinking about moving back to Jamaica. So, this video that I'm about to react to, I think it should be a very interesting one. I've never watched it before, but according to her title, she moved back to Jamaica over 10 years now. So, there should be a lot to unpack in this video. So, let's take a listen.
So guys, I released a short video about me moving to Jamaica and a lot of you guys have a lot of questions. So let's get into it. Yes guys, I moved to Jamaica without a plan. It was a spur of the moment type of thing. I just woke up one morning, give away all my furnitures and give away about 90% of my clothes and pack 3 suitcases. And whatever I could hold in those 3 suitcases, that's all I kept. And I booked a flight and I flew to Jamaica. No plan, nothing, just did it. Guys, sometimes you just realize in life that, listen me, something has to change. Something has to change. Like, you can't keep going in circles going down the same path. Something has to change, and sometimes you just have to jump out there with no safety net and just hope somewhere along the line you'll land on your feet. And that's all I'm doing. Maybe I'm just the crazy one, I don't know, but that's what I'm doing. So as you guys know who are following me for a while, that I was fighting to be in my son's life, yeah, and I had 3 court cases. I had family court, I had children court, and I had criminal court due to the grandmother of my son filing criminal charges against me because of an altercation that took place in a park over visitation of my son. So because of that, it was financially draining. Yeah, like all my money goes out the window because I had to pay family lawyer and I had to pay criminal lawyer, and it was financially draining, emotionally draining, all of them, yeah, just drain out of my body. So yes, something has to change. So as you guys know who are following my page, that for 4 months leading up to the criminal charges court case, social services stopped the visit between me and my son. They put a pause on it because they said it was too difficult for my son to handle, so they put a pause on the visits. And they said after the criminal charges finish, then they would resume if they think it is okay to resume.
Such a sad story. Believe me, I think we're like a minute in, and you can definitely tell she's been through a lot. You know, I really can't understand this fighting over kids and all of that. It's something that I can never understand, because if both parents want what's best for the child, I don't see why there should ever be a disagreement. You can just tell that there's always one party who's trying to be vindictive, because if everybody can come to an agreement and say, okay, this is the best for the child, there shouldn't be no back and forth to the point where it gets to the courthouse. But that's a whole separate story still. But you can definitely tell that this lady been through a lot. So I want to hear some more people. Let's listen.
So them leave me in a limbo, not knowing whether or not they would resume the visitation or not resume the visitation. All I knew was they put it on pause. So for 4 months leading up to that court case, I did not see my son. I spent Christmas alone. I spent New Year's alone, all the holidays them alone. And during that time, I had a lot of time to reflect. And I said to myself, Nads, this cannot be my life. Like, I cannot spend another 8 years of my life sitting around waiting, you know, and having no real control over my life, just waiting, playing the waiting game, playing the court game, playing the social services game, playing all these back and forth, you know, trying to convince a child that I love him and I want to be in his life while he's so brainwashed is one of the most difficult things, you know. So I reach a point where I'm like exhausted of the situation, to be honest. And after the criminal charges court case, I was found guilty. And even though they had eyewitnesses, and the eyewitnesses says I did not hit the lady, they did not see me push her in any way or try to hit her in any way. What they actually saw was me trying to take the child away from her and pull the child away from her. Even though all eyewitness on scene says that, the judge still found me guilty because the judge said it's still aggravation in some kind of sort of way, and they found me guilty, and the child was present, so they found me guilty on both charges.
People, we have to admire her transparency. This is something that we don't really witness. I think social media is changing, where social media was all about the glitz and glamour and oh, I'm rich and all of that, but now we're seeing some real stories. And that's one of the reasons why I decided to actually follow this niche right now. Right? And believe me, I've encountered a lot of real people like herself. Touching stories so far, people. Wow.
So after that, social services said that they would resume the visit after about, I don't know, 2-3 weeks after the criminal charges verdict. Social services said they would resume the visit, but the night before social service is to resume the visit, I got a call from my attorney telling me that the family court, because remember guys, the grandparents of my child was suing me for parental rights to my child, because even though my son physically lived with them, they did not have parental rights. I am the only one who had parental rights, so whatever they needed to do for my child or whatever, I had to give approval. They had to seek my approval. They could not act without my approval, even though my son physically lived with them. So they wanted parental rights. They sued me for parental rights, and because the verdict within the criminal charges said that I have 2 years restraining order against me from contact with the grandmother, because she's the one who requested it. She claimed that she was fearful and she needed a restraining order, and when she got that restraining order, she used that restraining order in family court to say, okay, we have a restraining order, so therefore it's difficult to co-parent with somebody that you have a restraining order with, so I need parental rights, and the judge granted her parental rights. Guys, it was a blow to my system, because that was the only type of thing I felt that was in my control, of me having parental right and control over decisions regarding to my son's life. So when a judge grant them the parental right, I have not more left. I have not more left. It's over. It's finished. It's done. Like what else there is to fight? What am I holding on to? What am I continuing this for? What am I doing this for? You understand? So that's the night before, I got that verdict. So I walked into the first meeting after not seeing my son for 4 months the following day. That's how mentally challenging that was, to just get sentenced, and the night before the visitation resumed after 4 months of not seeing my son, I got a call like that.
Wow, people, honestly, this story took a turn. I was here thinking I would be hearing the cliche reasons why people move back to Jamaica from the United States or wherever. But this is one of the most intense stories I've heard so far, people. No lie. Wow, people, that's a lot to unpack, yo. Like, the grandmother completely stripped her parental rights, so she just kind of feel like she's without a child even. That's almost the feeling. Wow.
So I was already feeling defeated. And when I went and I did that visit with my son immediately walked into the room. And when he walked into the room, he didn't say good morning, he didn't say good afternoon, he didn't say hi mommy, he didn't say anything. He went straight into being happy and excited. He was happy and excited that, according to his grandmother, his lawyer won him 850 euros in damages that I need to pay. And he was telling me all these wonderful things and wonderful plans that him and his grandmother have to spend this money, and all of these things that they were going to do with this money, and how when he's 18 he will have access to this money and all the things that and social services tried multiple times to interject and to get him to change the topic, to speak about, like, how was your holiday? You have not seen your mother for Christmas. How was your New Year's? You have not seen your mom for New Year's. Tell your mom, what did you do? How was it? Did you have fun? Did you get a lot of presents? How was it? And I'm telling you guys that the child had no interest in that. All the child has interest and focus on was speaking about the court cases. And when I'm telling you guys that this child knows every single detail of the court cases, it's just mind-blowing that an adult would actually sit down and explain to a little child every single details of all the court cases. So,
yo, that's so vindictive, people. Believe me, I don't know these people, But I can definitely tell from listening to the story that the grandmother, it's she's definitely trying to be spiteful. Regardless of whatever, she's still the child's mother, people. Honestly, I've heard so many stories like this, but believe me, karma have a sense of humor because that same child that you're growing, right? That same child that you're poisoning, they're gonna grow up to resent you, that grandmother. I can't trust and believe people. But anyway, back to the story. Crazy.
I looked at my child after not seeing him for 4 months, and I'm thinking, my gosh, like, this child is so brainwashed that there's nothing I can do. Like, I even feel more defeated in that moment. I felt like my heart was ripped out of my chest just sitting there watching my child going on and on and on and on. And I turned to him and I said to him, do you know that your grandparents is suing your mom for parental rights for you? And he said yes. And he had the most excited look in his eyes. And I said, do you know what that means for them to have parental rights? And he explained everything, because apparently, like what I said, they explained everything to him. So he said, yes, they'll have the right to sign my paperwork, they'll have the right to make decisions for me, and blah blah blah. And I look at him in his eyes and I said, are you happy about that? He said yes. And he's excited, he's happy. I said, are you okay living with your grandparents forever? He said yes, he's okay, he's happy, he wants to do this. So at this point I'm saying, whether he's brainwashed into answering me, whether this is what his heart really wants, it doesn't matter at this point. The fact is, I have to take what he's saying and really look into what he's saying, because this is what he wants, this is what he thinks he wants, this is what they fed him. He's so brainwashed that, So I said to him, do you want to continue the visit with me? Do you want to continue to see me? And he said to me, yeah, I want to continue to see you, because you have to go back to court in January, because you have a civil lawsuit where you need to pay my grandmother money.
What?
That's how much this child knows. Like, why the child need to know that I have to go back to court in January for the civil lawsuit that his grandmother will be filing for me to pay her money in damages? Like, why do he has to know this? This is not information for a child his age to know. So when I listen to this child and listen to him, it's like all he cares about is this money. All he cares about is me being punished. So he said he wants to continue the visit, but he only wants to continue the visit because he knows that my punishment is not yet complete, and he wants to make sure that my punishment is complete, and that his grandmother get all her money and he get all his money, and he don't want to improve in the meeting. He don't want to go outside. He just want to meet in the little social services.
Yo, this is heartbreaking to listen to people, because I understand the situation where, believe me, if both adults could just get on the same page, but automatically it's all about I need to win and you need to lose, and they don't realize that the child is the one losing. Just because of ego and all of that, they can't just come together and say, all right, let's figure out what's best for the child. There's always a vindictive person in the mix who don't care nothing about the child. It's all about I won, right? It's like the child is the pawn, the child is the trophy, the child is the weapon that they can use to harm the other person. It is always clear, because if you have two adults, right, in a situation that wants the best for the child, it's a simple, easy negotiation always. Believe me, people. Yo, touching story. Let's hear some more.
His room, and he don't want more time than the hour or 45 minutes allowed. He don't want any form of improvement. He just want to come for the hour or the 45 minutes, stay in that little room, don't go anywhere, don't do anything, just stay in that little room and see me until I face all my punishment. Like, this is what the child was saying to me. The minute he said that, and he keep going on and on and on about the court case, I look him straight in his eyes and I said to him, this is the last time you are seeing me. You will never see me again. And immediately, social services look at my face and they realize that, listen, yeah. So they asked to remove him out of the room, and one of the social services worker, because like I said, there's always two in the room. So one of them removed him from the room and the other one stays with me. And the other one said, Madam, are you sure what you're saying right now and you're not doing this out of emotions and whatever? Or maybe you need some time to think this over. Maybe you need some time to reflect. Like, this is a big decision. Are you sure about this decision? Do you really mean what you're saying right now? All of these things. And I said yes. Like, I don't, at this point, I don't see why I need to continue fighting. I don't, like, the child is too brainwashed, so I couldn't hold it any longer. Maybe I could have handled it better, but that just was my natural response, to just look at him and said, listen, me, this is the last time you're seeing me. You will never see me again. I said it and I meant it.
Damn. Honestly, people, I don't even know. You see, sometimes if you're not in the situation, it's easy for us to judge from the outside looking in. People, tell me your thoughts. If you reach this far in the video, tell me your thoughts so far about everything she said, because I'm still processing, people. It's a lot. That was a drastic move, because some people will say, okay, it's my child. Damn. Like I said, without knowing the facts and knowing all the intricacies, it's kind of hard to just be judgmental, people. I'm just gonna listen some more. Crazy.
And they brought him back in the room after they finished talking to me and discussed everything. And when they brought him back into the room, I explained to him. I said, listen, I love you. I made a lot of sacrifice of my life to be here. I went through a lot being here in France for you. I want you to know that I love you, but that's it. This is last you're seeing me. He looked confused, to be honest. He looked a bit taken aback, but he also looked like he didn't really care. I think he didn't really understand the severity and the seriousness of what was taking place. So he have a little nonchalant look as well to the whole thing. But whatever it was, that was it for me. I had enough. And I came home after the visit with my son. I wept because I was like having an out-of-body experience at that time, because I too was in shock. I think I too was in denial. I went through a lot of phases emotionally. Like, I don't even want to go in depth as to explain, but guys, it was really bad. It was really bad to what I was feeling and stuff like that. And like I've always said to you guys, no matter what I go through, I am just thankful that I'm not the type of person to have really dark thoughts in those moments. You understand me? Because stuff like that can send anybody over the edge. So
She's totally correct. Hey, be strong. I hope you have some support. I hope she can find some support, some family member, somebody who can talk her off the ledge. Because believe me, having your only child, and you know that person is, your party, and to have that person taken away from you, ripped away from you, like, I can only imagine. That is enough to send anybody over the ledge. Like, I don't know. People, this is why I try to react to these videos without actually watching the video beforehand. I try to just watch it on screen so I can get the natural, real emotions. And believe me, this one kind of stick me up. Like, I'm here thinking about, I'm gonna hear about bills and all of that, the regular stuff. But this is something completely different, people. Yikes. Hey, it does show that everybody have problems, yo. Sometimes you think your problem is major. Just listen to a next man's story and you kind of appreciate the situation that you're in. Even though you might deem it as a horrible situation, just listening to a next man's situation, you just might appreciate yours. Crazy.
I am so grateful that I'm not somebody who have very, very dark thoughts, no matter how hard life gets. I always think there's a better way. I always expect one day better must come. So I'm telling you guys, like, it was really bad. And after I went through that phase of mourning and grieving, that loss, I just wake up one morning and I know a social worker that was very kind to me and very nice to me. And I just picked up the phone and I called her and I said, listen, me, do you know anybody that is on welfare or something like that and destitute and needs some stuff? Because I'm giving away everything. And she asked me, madam, what's happened? And I said, I'm just giving away everything. I don't know where I'm going, what I'm doing. I'm just giving away everything, because one thing I know for sure, I cannot stay here in this situation another waking moment of my life. And I just wake up that morning, like I said, call her, ask her if she know anybody, and 2 tools, people just come, clear out everything, pack 3 suitcases, and I book a one-way ticket, jump on that plane, and that's it. And even when I reach at the airport feeling so defeated already, feeling so lost, I woke up in another obstacle, because they told me that I am only allowed to fly with 50 kg. And I had 3 suitcases. One of them weighed 25 another one weighed 25, so that's the 50, and I had a third that had 20. But I was told by the airline that at the airport I could pay for that extra 20. So I thought in my head that they would charge me for a bag, but when I reached there, they said no, they charge you per kilo of the weight in excess of the 50 pound. That's 50 pound, 50 kg. I asked the lady that was checking me in, like, if she can give me a discount, and she was willing to try to give me a discount, but her supervisor said, listen, this is not a budgeted airline and this is not a bargain center. She was
Crazy.
that rude and vocal. She said that, like the supervisor, this is not a budgeted airline, we don't do discount here. You understand? So she said the price is a price and the price is fixed for the day and you got to pay per kg. And when I quickly did the math, it was almost 500 euros for just 20 kg, where I pay 80 euros for the 50 kg. So if you pay 80 euros for 50 kg, why would you pay 500 euros for
That's a scam, people.
kg? The math's not matching. So at that point, I have lost so much. I have lost the most important thing in my life, which is my son. I have gave away everything. I only had what was ever in those 3 suitcases, and I just realized that I'm about to lose all that was in that 20.
People, I'll be leaving a link to this lady's channel and this video in particular. I'll be adding it to my description so you can check that just to find her channel. You can probably go over there and offer her some support and everything, because yeah, everybody need a little bit of cheering up, yo. Powerful. Hey, you have to be really vulnerable and decide that, yo, you're gonna share a story like this online publicly. So kudos to her. Oh wow.
kg. So I just opened that suitcase right then and there on the floor, and I emptied it out right there on the airport floor. Empty out everything, and I boarded the plane with 2 suitcases, guys, with clothes. And the only thing I took up from that pile after I emptied out my third suitcase was a Bible that my sister sent me. My sister, who is a pastor, sent me a King James Bible long time ago to keep me company, and I could not leave that Bible on the floor. So I picked up that Bible, and my son did a drawing when he was a little child, and that drawing is in a frame, and my heart could not give me to leave the Bible and one of the last memory I will ever have of my son. So I put those 2 in the suitcase, and when they weighed it, it was still about 5 kg over, and they charged me 66 euros for that 5 kg over. And I paid it because I was not about to leave a Bible on the floor, and I was not about to leave one of the only memory of my son on the floor. So I paid the 66 euros and I call it a day, and I leave all my clothes, my ear products, my makeup, all of those things right then and there on the floor.
Yo, those are some horrible attendants at that airport, people. I must say, because it doesn't make an ounce of difference, and it's not their money, it's not going into their pockets, but some people just like to be complete assholes. Yo.
And I said, listen, I'm getting on this flight one way or the other. So all I had and all I came to Jamaica with was basically 2 suitcases I end up with, and that's what I'm starting life over with here. Will I stay here? We'll see. Will I go back to Europe? We'll see. But for this moment, I am here. I am enjoying my time being here. I just came back from
Oh, so she actually just got people. My apologies, yo. I think I might have read the headline incorrectly. Oh, so she was living overseas for 10 years and then she moved. I thought she was in Jamaica 10 years, right? So she actually just got to Jamaica. So she's at the beginning, the starting point of her journey. Wow. Honestly, thoughts and prayers goes out to you. You're a strong person, no lie, because hey, a lesser man, I won't even talk. I won't even tell you what a lesser man would do in a situation like this, right? So yeah, wallet, mama, wallet. Crazy.
morning run, so that's why you guys seen me still in, at leisure wear, because I went for my morning run, no makeup or anything. And to be honest, guys, since I've been here in Jamaica, I feel like a burden I've lifted off my shoulder, because a lot of this situation was weighing heavily on me. It was weighing really, really heavy on me. It was a lot of stress, a lot of challenges, And it was taking a toll on me mentally. It was taking a toll on me physically, because a lot of you guys that has been following me for years and now you not even look too right, my girl, you look like your spirit has leave you and stuff like that. And to be honest, going through these challenges, stuff like that is expected. So I am here now. I am happy to be here now, and I am just working hard on rebuilding, sending out a few resumes, see if anybody out there would really and truly employ me, even though I'm on social media, because that's another challenge. So whatever challenges I am facing and I will facing, don't know, say your girl strong. Yeah. It is what it is, but I hope those answer your question. Big up yourself. Peace, I'm out. Bye.
Wow. One thing I must say to her, don't ever give up on social media, alright? Don't let them dim your light, because you just might be a beacon of light for somebody else. The mere fact that you found the strength, yeah, you just might give someone who's needing the strength right now. Yeah, holy people. Honestly, this wasn't really what I was expecting, but I appreciate it nonetheless, because it was a powerful testimony. In my mind, that was a testimony. So drop it in the comment section. Let me know. She's definitely, I cannot understand why she moved back to Jamaica, man. Jamaica was a good choice. It's going to bring her back to health. Jamaica and the people there, they're really warm and friendly and supportive. It's the best place. You can find community within a week. So that was a very good choice. So people, drop it in the comment section. Share your thoughts. This one, believe me, whew, I'm out.